Hey everybody, Pawpawcookie here. I'm glad you stopped by because I'd like to talk to you about guns and gun control. Now, for those faint-hearted among you, fear not with the gun here. I've rendered it totally harmless. There are no shells in the chamber, and I'll leave it half-cocked, just like our president. As you will soon see, I can make no honest claim to expertise in the field of public speaking. But I'll give it my best shot, no pun intended, and hopefully I can make myself understood. But I can tell you truthfully that I didn't have to rely on David Axelrod or Rahm Emanuel for these words. They're all my own. Now, guns are very useful, and I've had guns ever since I was a little boy growing up with all my friends down in South Louisiana. We spent a lot of time hunting small game out in the woods and marshes. The thing about running around in the great outdoors is you learn a lot about the ways of nature, the natural order of things. You learn that among the different species of animals, there are predators and prey. You find that while a rabbit is preyed upon, it is also capable of running very fast. His eyes are positioned on his head so that he can see things coming from either side. And he has enormous ears to hear things that might be sneaking up on him. So a bobcat, which just loves to eat rabbits, has a very difficult job catching one of those things. He has no guarantee that just because he comes upon one in the woods, that he will actually catch it. So there are checks and balances that can be found in nature. No species has an unfair advantage. Another lesson you soon learn is survival of the fittest, and that the strongest and most agile survive. They are the ones that get to reproduce and continue the genetic line. This guarantees a future generation that is equipped with the necessary abilities to survive. It's all in the natural order of things, and that's just the way of our world. Now, the problem is we become so far removed from the natural world that many of us don't understand that we ourselves have risen to the top in this natural order of things, because we are the species that is the fittest of the fit. It was our physical prowess coupled with our large brain, our ability to think, reason, and solve problems that got us to the top. This gun is an example of technological evolution. It's an example of the latest technology in firearms manufacturing. Guns were instrumental in our survival drama. When our ancestors lived off the land, this is one of the things that set them apart from the rest. One of the things that put them on the top of the evolutionary chain. Our lives today were built on the shoulders of people who survived life's drama because of guns. Now, when I was a kid, everybody I knew had a gun, either a shotgun or a rifle. We could handle a gun with a lot of skill and know-how, and we learned early to respect guns because we knew that carelessness could be dangerous. And we looked out for each other. Hunting was a lot of fun, but we didn't want to get anybody hurt. And as for me, although I don't really spend a lot of time hunting the way I did as a kid, I still enjoy it occasionally. When I was a kid, if someone spoke the words gun control, it would have simply meant that you had control of your gun. You handled it with ease, you aimed accurately, and you hit your target. Gun control. But these days, our so-called representatives have a different definition of gun control, and it's not at all what we thought. These people have this harebrained idea that if they take all of the guns away from the American citizens, they will decrease the murder rate. Problem is, and you know this is true, the criminals will keep their guns and unfortunately use them in the commission of their crimes. Criminals do not obey the law, and no amount of hope will change that fact. Crimes are committed by criminals, not guns. A gun is an inanimate object. If I threw this gun on the ground out in the woods, it would just remain there for hundreds of years until the stock rotted and the barrel rusted away. A gun is absolutely harmless if it's not in a person's hands. When a murderer is murdering, he does not have it in his mind to commit murder with a gun. He simply wants to commit murder. And if no gun is available, a knife will do just as well, or a hammer, or a baseball bat, or his bare hands. The point is, a murder will still be committed. Now, this brings us to the subject of self-defense. Now, why should I be denied my right to defend myself from someone breaking into my house in the middle of the night to do me and my family harm? I refuse to put myself in a position where I have to rely totally on some local police department to defend me against an unwelcomed intruder. I don't have that kind of faith. In a situation where seconds count, their arrival cannot be depended on. It's just a fact. No police department has ever performed at 100%. Having a gun will even up the odds and give me at least a fighting chance to protect myself and my family. So wake up, America. Think about the bobcat and the rabbit. Believe me, the boys in Washington consider themselves bobcats, and you're just another rabbit. Are you a rabbit? If so, you better start acting like one. Open your ears, lift your nose into the wind. Look around real careful. If they take away your Second Amendment rights, it will only embolden them to take something else away from you. As a rabbit, you should easily be able to smell the stink of this. And why would the government want to take my gun away? I've never committed a crime, not ever. I have no plans to rob any banks. And I would never shoot anybody if I got mad at them. No way, it's not going to happen. So why would the government want to take a gun away from a law-abiding, peace-loving American citizen like me? It makes no sense at all. So ask yourself, what is the real reason why they would want to do something like that? Well, thanks for listening, and I hope you found it worthwhile. And come back again when you have a minute. Thank you.